All right. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back after I'm dropping a bunch of stuff.
Gosh, honey, stop breaking things. Come
Yeah,
on. You fix things.
I try to. This is the ReVitalized podcast. We thought we would do something a bit different today and just come on here and do a little bit of a shorter stream. Just try to get some more. We want to try to do something every day,
Yeah.
the podcast, or most days. So we're going to be on for 10, 15, 20 minutes, just going over some short, sweet goodness.
Yes, absolutely.
health,
Some nuggets of wisdom.
Getting our families healthy, our minds healthy, our bodies healthy.
Yeah, because that's what
Gonna
we're
be a lot
here
of fun.
for. Absolutely, is to make families healthy again.
Mm-hmm.
And we as individuals, especially as families, right? Like we need as much help as possible. We need as much support as possible. So having that consistent help can be something that's even better than having that extended, like longer kind of periods of time help, but that is more broken up over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first topic we wanted to talk about is relationship with food. So that is something that is very, very common. A lot of people don't realize how unhealthy their relationship with food is. And so basically, I was asked to speak about this today because I did a short video the other day and I posted on social media about our relationship with food and relating it to our relationship with other people. So our relationship with food can be very similar to our relationship with others because it's all about trust, right? If you don't have the best relationship with food, it can be similar to having a lack of trust with a person. So if you want to fix that relationship with the person and also fix the relationship with the food, a good way to think about it is to see the similarities between them, right? Where you want to have enough trust where there's not enough trust, but enough opportunity for that trust to be earned. So in other words, with the food, for you to gain back that trust with yourself, that trust that you may have lost, right? Or that trust that you are yet to discover. And then with the person, giving enough of an open door where they still have an opportunity to gain trust, to earn your trust over time, and they're not completely closed off from earning any trust from you, right? Because in order for someone to earn your trust, they have to have that as an opportunity. And if they don't, then there's never going to be any relationship. And the same thing is with food. If you're too strict, then you're not going to have a good relationship with food. Or if you're too open, where there's no strictness and there's no boundaries, you're not going to have a good relationship with food or with that person. So you can see how the things are very related. They're very similar. And it's very important to keep in mind that it takes time to build up your relationship with food as it is to build up your relationship with another person, right? Where you need to allow them to earn your trust, to have that trust with you. And your trust with yourself has to do with you with other people and you with food. And so this is something that like we've always come across, like pretty much every single person, like every single client we've worked with. Basically everybody.
Has had some kind of a food problem, food relationship problem, food addiction. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Healthy people, sick people, skinny people, big people, fit people, out of shape people, every kind of people.
Yeah.
Every kind of people.
And we were talking about this the other day, how it can even be more common in women than in men.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, there's the whole, just the hormonal thing. Men's hormone cycles are just generally a lot easier to manage, a lot simpler to deal with for guys than women's hormone cycles are for you ladies. It's so dynamic. Mm-hmm. With a guy, it's like in the morning, he's got high testosterone. In the evening, it's a little bit lower. That's mostly it for most men. You guys have to manage like a whole orchestra of stuff because there's so much more going on up in here and in there. And it just makes the food a much bigger temptation to help with handle the emotional stuff because there are so many just I guess things we've been trained on to get relief or satisfaction from food. It's just so common. We see it all the time, constantly. Obviously, big food markets to us like crazy, but I mean, even in movies and books, in all kinds of stories, there's some person somewhere doing something where they had a tough day and they're gonna go get a pint of ice cream.
Yeah.
They had a tough day and they're going out to eat some food.
And
That's I've had a long time. Let me eat my candy bar.
and it's accepted too. It's tolerated.
Oh, yeah.
It's seen as normal.
Right.
And it's like we have to ask ourselves, like, is this something that's legitimately healthy?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's also normal? Giving away your trust to someone else before they've earned it. That's something that's very common, but it's not something that's smart. And so if we want to have healthier families, if we want to be healthier people who create healthier families, we need to think about every area of our life being healthier. And so one of the aspects, of course, of a relationship with food is it being a comfort that can turn very toxic, right? There can be a lot of coping mechanisms that are negative coping mechanisms, and you know they're negative if they're not helpful to you, if in the long run they're unbeneficial to you. And so one of the examples of food being used very negatively, you know, one area, of course, would be if you're literally eating ultra processed foods anytime that you feel upset. Okay. So if you're eating the McDonald's, if you're eating the junk food, if you're going to the alcohol, if you're constantly drinking coffee and you're not even like drinking water at all, obviously that's not healthy at all, right? We know that part is pretty obvious. And so that's a whole conversation in and of itself, because the chemicals that they put in there that can make you more addicted to those things, right? But overall, you, right? We're talking about your relationship with yourself, which is so important, which is one of the biggest aspects to being healthier. And so one of these aspects of having this as a false comfort, as food being a false comfort, is when, again, it has become toxic to you. It's not you decided to, you know, make yourself, I don't know, like a bone broth hot chocolate or something like that day. You know, that's something like we like to enjoy. Having good food is something that is enjoyable. It is comforting, right? Like it can be really, really wonderful.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think I've eaten a meal that I didn't genuinely like, basically, since I met you. Well, that's not true, but it wasn't meals that you made. It was
okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. You get a pass.
with other
it's fine.
people.
It's fine. Yeah. It was just other people.
I have met
of
other
course.
people since I met you.
That's so funny. But anyways, so if we look at, you know, helplessness thinking, and again, with false comforts, and again, with self-pity, right? Because when we have a negative coping mechanism, and it can be food or it can be something else. It can be something that is reaffirming again and again and again, something that isn't healthy to us. Oh gosh, I don't like myself. I'm eating more than I should. You know, like, oh gosh, I did it again, but I can't get myself out of this. Or, oh, my life sucks so much, so I have to keep like eating in excess, or waking up in the middle of the night to go eat.
And that's a huge spiral down the guilt complex.
Yes.
The thing we talk about a lot. But when you see repeat negative behavior, the guilt complex is there, the culprit, like almost every single time.
Absolutely. And again, we're not talking about food. Food is wonderful. Food is fuel. You have to eat food. But it's when you're eating in a way where it's genuinely not healthy for you. Where even if the food you're eating is like, let's say, healthy, right? But it's eaten in excess. You're literally stretching your belly. You're making yourself, like you're eating so much, you're at to the point of being like overly bloated and overly full, and you're going past that. And then you keep going past that again and again and again. We're not just talking about like, you know, a fun experience on Thanksgiving or something like this. And so back to that whole aspect of the guilt complex, and, you know,
and it's on that note, though, it's never just Thanksgiving.
No, for sure.
I mean, if somebody has a day, if somebody has only 1 or 2 days a year, let's go Thanksgiving and Christmas, where those are the only 2 days that they're eating to the point of discomfort.
Undoing a button.
That's a great year. Like, you did awesome with your portion sizes compared to almost everybody else. The problem is that it's eating to discomfort most days out of the week, most weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
And that's a huge issue.
Absolutely. And so, you know, again, you know, if we look at self-pity, right, it like the actual definition of it is an excessive self-absorbed unhappiness, you know, of one's own troubles. So you're obsessing over the things that you're upset about. And it's all about you. And it's kind of like, oh gosh, I'm so upset about this. Oh gosh, this happened to me. Oh gosh, this sucks again and again and again. And then using these false comforts as a way to try to get out of that. But those comforts aren't even comforting you in a way where it's helpful. It's comforting you in a way where it's reaffirming it. Because when you have a negative habit, it's not just because, oh, food is tasty. It's a lot more than that. It's because there's an emotional part of things and there's a habit part of things that is keeping you stuck in that cycle. And so we want to break cycles around here, right? We want to break things that are not good for us. So if we look at all of these aspects, right, where it's like, hey, my relationship with food needs to change if I want it to be any good, and I can think about it being really unhealthy by thinking about it in a way of having a relationship with another human being. If I had a relationship with another human being the way I have with food, is that actually a healthy relationship or an unhealthy relationship? And that's something very, very, very real. Okay. And then another part too is like, is your relationship with food, is your habits around food, are they actually beneficial to you? Are you actually like fueling yourself, or are you basically drowning in self-absorption of just eating and eating and eating to eat and then eating for your feelings? This kind of idea where it's like, and you have to understand, like Justin and I were saying before, like Justin and I, we had our own food addictions. Okay. It wouldn't even make sense where it's like, why am I still eating? And you've seen this a lot, even with, even with your male clients and the ways that they have been, like obsessed with food.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like just again and again. And even what you saw, from yourself, like how sometimes food is like almost feels like the only comfort people even have in their lives.
Well, it's definitely one of the easiest ones.
It's definitely one of the easiest ones.
You can, if you want to comfort yourself with skydiving, I mean, you're talking about hundreds of dollars and another person attached to you at the hip. If you want to comfort yourself with a long drive, you need to have a car, you need to have gas, you need to have driving skills, you need to get outside, grab your keys, brave the cold, turn the engine on and go drive. If you want to comfort yourself with a movie, I mean, you're committing to 2.5 hours of your life. If you want to comfort yourself with sex, you got to have a partner. You got to preferably be in a committed relationship, like a marriage. If you want to comfort yourself with a bunch of stuff, you need things to do it.
Yeah.
Food, it's grab and go. You can comfort yourself for $1.30 at the corner store if you get a small little sample size bag of Doritos, tiny half-size O. Henry bar, a small cup of coffee at McDonald's or Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts. It's cheap, it's easy, it's accessible, it's everywhere, and we see it constantly, and it's like the one addiction that almost nobody is ever going to have a problem with. Mm-hmm. Nobody, like, I mean, not nobody, but people will give you flack if you drink too much. People will give you flack if you smoke. People will give you flack if you vape. People will give you flack if you exercise too much. People will give you flack for basically everything except for eating a lot and eating too much. If you're in the right circles, they'll give you some friendly flack for sure. But most people, it's kind of like the unspoken addiction. It's the thing that nobody has any problem with, and it's gone so far to the point now where, I mean, we have people that are actively opposing any flack toward eating too much. Mm-hmm. To the point now where like it's almost unsafe on the internet to say obesity, to talk about weight problems, to discuss the things that risk your rate of heart attack. A lot of people do it.
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
Yeah. And
it's not a problem for most people.
And it's
and that's a problem.
It's a really big problem mentally, and it's a really big problem physically, right? So obviously physically, if we eat too much, that can increase our chances of like Justin was saying, like heart conditions and,
Mm-hmm.
like blood pressure, blood sugar problems, this kind of idea. As we gain weight, we can put more pressure even on our joints.
Oh, yeah.
Something that can be very, very bad for us long term. It can get in the way of our mobility. So we have like even less energy and we have less comfort around movement, around moving our bodies. And that can really affect us long term.
Yep.
We also, of course, even mentally, you know, again, as we were talking about earlier, that cycle of helplessness, right? Where because you're using a negative coping mechanism, and that can be food or it can be something else. But the point being is it's being used in a negative way, right? Where it's like it's going over and over and over again. And basically what you're affirming is this is the only thing you can do about the problems that you have. So when you're affirming again and again and again to yourself that this is the only thing you can do, then you're going to keep reaching for the food because it gives you some sense of control. Another way would even be looking at people who have problems with like not eating enough, as an example, because that's one aspect, right? It's about control. It's about wanting to do something because there is an anxiety, wanting to do something about the problems. And, you know, I can say this from experience, but wanting to do something about the problems, but you're not able to. But that one thing gives you a level of comfort and gives you a level of control. And it's all false because it doesn't solve any problems.
No.
It only affects your health in a negative way.
That's right. I mean, and we've even got people without stereotypical food problems. They're not overweight. They're not underweight. They're generally fairly healthy. I mean, we got several people that they just don't like to eat food because it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it takes so much time, because they don't know what's going on, because they get bloated, because they get sluggish, because they get fatigued, because they don't know how to keep their mental focus at work after lunch. Tons of stuff where it's like it's not a overeating problem. They're not taking third helpings every time they eat food. They're not under eating problem. They're not going days without eating. But it turns into an under eating problem usually because they're just, I only have the patience for one meal a day. Like that's all I can handle.
It feels
I
like
just
work.
snack and I graze and I grab what I can get and I go with it because I don't want to make anything, because I don't want to put any time or thought or worry into it. I mean, you know, we had Drew's mom.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I was on the phone with her one time doing a coaching call, and I was asking how things were going with her diet, and she's like, this is the first time in years that I haven't felt angry around food because I actually know what the flip to do.
Yeah.
And I was just, wow, yeah. I mean, it gets that bad for a lot of people. Sorry you were there. I'm happy you got some clarity now and things are feeling good, right? But there's so many people are there.
Yeah.
And so you take all these different things, under eating, overeating, stress eating, emotional eating, and it just, almost everybody's got some kind of a relationship issue when it comes to food, and they don't know how to fix it. And
you do until you don't. You do until you don't, because you don't have to have a poor relationship with
definitely
food.
not. It's, I mean, we've had people that they got their food problems are so bad, they'll go to Costco twice a year, load up on nothing but sugar and candy and sodas and things like that, and to the point where they don't even want to have a store-bought piece of cheesecake on their birthday because it tastes so artificial. It tastes so synthetic. So anybody can fix it. It's just a matter of, is it something that you even want to fix?
Yeah, that's number one.
That's so important, just to get that first step is like, okay, I should work on this. And then from there, we get to work on better food quality, making it taste better, learning how to do it without pulling your hair out, portion control, meal frequency, meal timing, a bunch of different things to ultimately get to the point where you're eating to live, not living to eat, one way or the other. Because you're so excited about the next meal, or because you waited so long between meals that you have to get something because your body is starving and you can't do this and you can't do that until you get some food in you.
Yep.
It's not a good cycle. It's unfriendly.
It is unfriendly.
It's
and
abusive.
It's a false comfort. It has to be, if you want comfort in your life, you can't have false comforts.
That's right.
And again, a false comfort is something that pretends to be comforting, but is actually unhealthy. Okay. So in no universe will fast food be actually comforting to you. It may seem like that at the start as an example, but you know that it's very unhealthy for your body. Some of the ingredients aren't even real. Like they're made in a lab as an example. We even have clone meat out as an example. That's actually being reduced because so many people didn't like it. But anyways.
Well, reduced publicly.
Yeah.
We can,
okay. Anyway,
we
don't want to, speculate or anything like this. But But either way, one of
I'm
the
okay
first things.
speculating a little bit.
Okay, so again, one of the first things that you want to do when it comes to improving your relationship with food, right, is one, it has to be important enough to you, because if it's not, we can think that it's something is important to us, but we can also trick ourselves, right? And especially when something feels like a comfort, it can be really hard to sometimes even give it up. So one, it has to be recognized as an actual problem. You have to see it as a problem. And again, this is like what we're talking about. It's not necessarily like what you're eating, that's part of it, but it's like how much you're eating, and if the relationship to it is
And
unhealthy, if it's
why you're eating
it,
it, when you're eating it, where you eat it.
yeah. Yeah, your how you feel when you're away from it. Like if it's unproblematic, right, and you like don't go without it for 3 days, you're probably fine. You're probably decently fine. If you have to have it and you feel like this like temptation to go and grab it like any second, and it's like consuming your mind, that's unhealthy. That's telling you that there is a level of an addiction there, right? So that one, we have to recognize the problem, right? And then there's a few things you can start doing to help create those boundaries, like we were first talking about, right? Setting up a healthy boundaries with food, as would with a person. And more, you will gain more trust with yourself to be able to handle less and less boundaries around food. So you can go to a friend's house, and even if they have 4 different types of pies and it's an all you can eat this or that or whatever, then you're not worried about it. You don't want to be worried about yourself eating too much. You should be able to stop when you're satiated, when you've had enough, because when you go past that, there's no point in that. It's not healthy, and it's also unhealthy to of course undereat as well. It can go either way.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, so an example would be giving yourself certain time limits of how long you have to eat something. So as an example, per meal, you can give yourself 20 minutes to make sure that you eat something properly, right? Because one of the ways that we can end up having a poor relationship with food is if we are wolfing things down way too quickly. So when we're doing that, right,
that's
then
a
we're
big
not,
one that most guys struggle with.
then we're not appreciating it. We're not being grateful for it. Another one would be actually,
you're also just not giving your stomach time to catch up.
Exactly. And then you're going to end up
you don't have a second
more.
set of teeth. You have one set of teeth in your mouth. Everything else is soft. So you got to chew a lot.
You
so
have
the
to
soft
chew.
stuff can break down the hard stuff that your teeth are supposed to break down. Little pro tip.
Another way to improve your relationship with food, with setting up healthy boundaries, is to give yourself a time limit of how long you want to eat something. So let's say you make something in a batch, right? Like you make a batch of like, muffins or something like this. Give yourself like a week or two, maybe freeze them, something like this. A time limit of how long you should eat something, right? Because you don't want to sit there and eat something in one sitting, right? Even regardless of what the ingredients are, there is a point where it's just too much, and you don't want to do that to yourself, right? Because you are worthy of respect. You're worthy of recognizing your worth. You matter. Your health matters. And if you overdo it, you are communicating to yourself that you're not worth taking care of. And that's not good for you. And we don't want that for you guys. And then lastly, another example that would be really good, again, is actually back to kind of what Justin lately touched on, was chewing a lot. You want to chew even like 30, 50 times per bite. And that may seem in excess, but it's actually something that is very, very healthy because, again, you're putting in a level of effort for your food. You're not just having this consumer mindset of consume, 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 consume. And it's something that will even improve your digestion. And it is something that
Big
will
time.
be very...
Massive difference in digestion.
Yep.
We've had people with severe bloating. Only change they make before the bloating goes away is just chewing more and slower.
Yeah. Yeah. And then super bonus one, super quick. Remember, your home should be the safest place for you. You should not have anything in there that is unhealthy that you are going to basically fail at, right? You want to set yourself up for success. So if you can't control yourself around chocolate almonds, as an example, you probably shouldn't get chocolate almonds, or at least very commonly, where if you're going to go through those decently quickly, you have to really limit or even avoid altogether yourself buying chocolate almonds, because you have to be very honest with yourself, and that's where accountability comes from, right?
Nobody's ever only had one Pringles chip.
I've only had one Pringles chip. I don't like them that much, but that's okay.
Nobody else
I'm special.
has only ever had one Pringles chip. If you reach in the bag, you're getting more than one chip, and you're not just reaching once. You're reaching 2 times, 3 times, 20 times, because this stuff's designed that way.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's about accountability. It's not about shame.
Mm-hmm.
So with accountability, there has to be honesty. So yeah, that's our little topic for you guys today, and we hope you enjoy it. And thank you again to everyone supporting the show. And please like and subscribe if you like it. And we hope to see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.